pause music on Neumann and DH20s. Actually, let's swap those out real quick for the always lovely, possibly irrelevant Sendy Audio. Love you, babies. And we're here actually reviewing the Airist R2R DAC, which is on mass drop. And if you don't know, let me explain it real quick. There'd be two buttons, a power button and an input button. I really like how it's a slightly thinner case than the 789. Same layout, size, so you can make a little stack. Power's off. It powers on. It remembers what input you had. When it's doing an input that isn't available, a little LED goes red versus USB's not hooked up, it's red. Optical hookup goes white. That's it. Vent holes, never gets warm. The back of it has power transformer here. 5.3 volt, 3 amp. It's very specific. USB, coaxial, optical, all spaced evenly. I kind of like that for my OCD. And a set of RCA outputs. Now, I actually used to own that Airist amp. If you remember, it was here. I won it at a bid at a Head-Fi meet in Long Island. I bid like $300 and something, and it was like, and I sold it eventually. Did I sell it before the 789? I sold it before the 789, so I sold it when I was just happy with like own stuff. Now, here, this being just a DAC, and this being just an unbalanced DAC. So like I whipped out my slab of balanced SMSL VMVD1, which is the DAC that gets used on my desk that I sit at all day. This is my review desk. I come here only when required to by law or court orders. But that's my desk where I'm sitting and I'm checking emails and I'm watching YouTube videos. That's like that's where I live. That's where I work. And this stays where I live. And I said in the video review of this that I think it's like 1.5% better than most DACs I've heard. Like 4% maybe from like the lowest end, good $100 DAC. And that's enough in the world of DACs to be like, all right, well, shit, I might as well. I bought this DAC. SMSL didn't send this to me. They said, oh, you want to review this? Could you pay us like 60% of what its cost is? And I was like, I guess so. So I think it was $700 out of pocket for this thing. And it is like 6 pounds. It's literally, I'm amazed it actually makes a hollowish sound, but it's a rock. And I love it. But I don't use like all its features. It's got remote control. So I remember having this hooked up in my living room directly to my Crown amps. And I remember just ever so slightly like holy fucking it over like the mini DSP, which is what I currently use for my DAC in the living room. But it doesn't have any of the features. I mean, it has some features. It actually does that crystal. It has like 12 different sound modes to change the way things sound. But none of that matters. I just plug it in to my 789 on my desk, and that's it. That's its job. Sit there, turn on 789, actually the RCA's output to whatever speakers I'm using. It's good. So I had to compare that to this, because this is an R2R DAC, which that still isn't. R2R DACs use a resistor ladder to do things. Don't ask me to explain it, all right? I could usually simplify most things into like, oh, Zeos explained it, and therefore I understand. Well, someone needs to explain it to Zeos, so that then Zeos can understand, so that then Zeos can dumb it down even further. Because I don't know. All I know is the cheapest like R2Rs that were around a couple years ago were like $5 grand, according to Massdrop, which we're going to get to the comments section on Massdrop, because I'm going to tell you how this sounds. I'm going to tell you it sounds really good. I'm going to tell you that I pulled out this DAC to compare against. That means something. And at the same time, drama on the internet. Now, I'm not a huge fan of internet drama, but it's Massdrop. And Massdrop didn't send this to me. I threw my money at it. I can't wait for them to... They offer me a lot of the headphones. Like, hey, you want to try the new 99 Noirs? And I'm like, sure, yeah, throw me a pair. But this sort of stuff, they don't reach out to Zeos. So Daddy Zeos reaches into his Patreon pocketbook and says, I'll roll the dice. And this is a winner. This is a winner. It absolutely sounds as clean and clear as any of the... Once you get out of like the 100... I'm pretty happy at like the $100 price range for a DAC. The Geshelli Lab there is like $200, but it's the cheapest balanced, other than getting like an SMSL, SU8, and that thing's got remote control, so it's got a little more features. So once you're in that like 200, 250, like the DAC I would probably compare this to the most would be the EL DAC, the JDS Labs one, because it's around 280 for that, and this is 350 right now. And they're both very interesting as far as like they're just boxes. I should pull one out of the closet, but they don't have any features. This at least had features. SU8 has features. Geshelli Labs, even that thing, even though it has no USB, has features. You could actually adjust the output voltage with a button on the front. But this is just on, and then pick which one. Done. This is just on, and then you have remote controls and another thing. So the biggest thing that concerned me was it's not balanced output. Now, there'll be schools of thought that say you don't need balanced output. You only need XLR outputs. If you're running long lengths, if you're running 30 feet from your DAC to your fucking amp, you use XLR because it uses higher voltage and it uses an up and down voltage skew, so it can check for error correcting essentially. I know that's a rough estimate. Just let me go with it, please. There's only a few reasons you use balanced. Like you're gonna design the THX79 to be a balanced amp by having two balanced amplifiers inside. The actual way you feed it, even if you're feeding it just RCA, you could still use the balanced amp design. It just will never come out to be fully balanced. So OCDs, like me, have to run, XLR to that, even though it's only 2 feet run, you have to use it. So it was a little bit like, I'm paying $350 for a DAC that isn't even balanced. It still sounds fucking good. It still sounds fucking great. It does. It's clean, but it's like extra clean. And they could absolutely say, oh, it's $1,000 DAC, and I would listen to it and I would say the exact same words. It's clean, but I wish it was balanced. It's $500, it's clean, but I wish it was balanced. At $350, it's clean, but I wish it was balanced. Now, it does fit the stack, so you can get the Cavalli amps. You can get 789 if you spend like, I should have sold like 12 of those amps. I should have just bought a shit ton of them. I could have paid for RMAF by now. Link to the RMAF GoFundMe in the description. It's getting along, but not looking great. Still gonna happen though, regardless of if that gets paid. I'm just not gonna be going out for steak dinners. Let's talk about the controversy. I can't avoid it much longer because I was there when this thing first dropped. Someone says, "Hey Zeos, have you seen this?" And I saw the buzz, and I'm like, "All right, that's worth throwing money at." And I was there when the original posts started coming in. Here's June 5th. Is this module a direct copy from my 2016 work? I don't remember legally authorizing anyone to do so, and commenting is available here. So basically, the internal design of this, which you can find on the page, on the main page, where it shows the internal circuit board, looks exactly like that, which I have open here. That one on the right is the Airist, and this one on the left is this guy's. I think it's Socris. Is he a Socris design? And the argument is, hey, that's exactly the same board for this in this. So the post goes on. I'll link to the post. Well, I'm linking to Massdrop. Here's what you do. You click the link in the description. It takes you to Massdrop. You'll see that this is on pre-order because they're doing that whole thing where they're like, hey, we can't keep up with the demand, etc., etc. So this guy's got 120 upvotes and 170 something comments since June 5th. And it goes down, and they're directing their comments at Airist to come and defend themselves. And then this post happened on also the 5th, which is fast. That's a fast response for a company because I guess they're launching their product, they want to have it. And he basically goes and he posts a whole bunch of other R2R DAC layouts, and he says basically everyone's saying, oh, the layout is the same, but it's a standard layout with the resistor ladders, because that's all just tons of resistors in a line. And the only thing that bothers everybody is that all of these are the same, like, school of thought. Like when you design a car, yes, you have your steering wheel on the left, gas pedals on the floor, you got a shifter in the middle, 4 wheels, and a windshield. And if everyone buys a car, you can't complain that a Honda is a Lamborghini because they all have those exact same things. The complaint is that when you look at it, not only is the steering wheel on the left side, it's the exact same size, color, grip, like all the parts. There's only like 2, even just the untrained eye that I have can see that there's just like 2 more resistors here that aren't there. Like it's real close, like really close. So I'm not here to judge shenanigans on the internet and what people are designing, and if it's Airist doing this, they say they were designing it for 5 years, and there's no way they were designing it for 5 years, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on, and I'll speed this up a little bit so we can get to when it goes on, because it's still going on and on and on. Look how big these posts are, the fucking layouts and design. Stop. I'm not here to make any judgments. I mean, I'm going to, as soon as I shut the camera off, I'll judge the hell out of anybody. We're here to talk about this DAC and how it sounds. It sounds amazing. Now, whether that sounds amazing because somebody else designed it, and someone on the team maybe looked at it and said, oh, that looks like a really interesting design, I'll just plop that there, and then didn't tell anybody else, and it's not actually the company's fault, I don't know. Shit like this, anybody can open up anything and say, hey, you stole my shit. If you have, then you have lawyers fight. If you're just here, remember when this was a channel about listening to music? This is Z Reviews. Hi. I don't want to say I don't care about that, because it's important not to have your work stolen. I know all about it. My videos end up on YouTube pages in like 320p, not even 360, 320p. And the people change out all the links in the description, and it's like, Hook Bang Do, DAC Review Best. And it's like the default, my hands pointing like that in the thumbnail. And I have to go file all sorts of shit with YouTube to get them to remove it. So I understand someone's work being copied and how pissy that would make me or anybody. So therefore, I'm done. But literally, I'm done. I don't want to. I want to love this DAC a little more. I want to love, like, oh, it sounds great, but I don't want to participate in the fight. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand. I'm not that guy. But I'm also not going to take a side until I know it. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to get my big bowl of popcorn. I'm going to watch this fight play out on the internet, and I'm going to enjoy this DAC. Possibly was going to go in a yard sale. Possibly. But now, I think I'll hold on to it till RMAF. I'll just hold on. A lot of the things I've reviewed in the past and I'm reviewing soon are gonna not end up in the yard sale. The yard sale is probably a little bit smaller. Maybe even I'll skip a month or two, because RMAF needs things. And I can't just keep selling every little thing, because every little thing that's good, I want to bring there to show off. So if I sell it, make 60% of what I bought it for, and then comes RMAF, I have to buy it again. That's 100% from that, which means I lost 40% plus. So, if you're a patron and you're a $5 patron, if you don't see things in the yard sale, I'm sorry. You will still get to see these videos early, which hopefully clears up your conscience and you can buy things like the Tin P1 is still on sale. I didn't sell it out. I'm very upset. Very upset at all of you. When I post something and I say it's the greatest thing on earth, I expect it gone. So, you all get a C- for last week. But something like this, maybe you hold back on it, morally. With a moral cognizance of like, I'll wait. We'll see how this plays out. Because it's a pre-order right now. I got it because it was brand new out. 200 units free, and well, not free, but 200 units ready. And I'm like, I bought it. It's bought it. It arrived. I sat here for a couple days, and I'm like, all right, let me listen to it. Oh, wow. Let's pull this out. Oh, wow. It sounds so good and so close to, oh. But then that shit started adding up and hits you like in the... It hits me in the feels. I should just be here listening to music. Have I even played one song on the Sendies? This is the problem with my job. Hopefully none of you people, you know who you are. Hopefully none of you have to deal with any of this bullshit. And you just go, you know what I really like? Air, Venus. And then lawyers bust in and like, you have no right to have that because we designed it. Oh my God. So I'm going to just nod at this, say it's fucking great, say if you want to buy one, feel free. Put yourself on the pre-order list. And try not to get too involved with the absolute insanity that is going on in the mass drop things. If you want to have a discussion about this that's not part of that mass drop madness, or you want to add to it, feel free to do so on Hi-Fi Guides Forum, which is a forum that DMS and I started to just try to be away from all that. Like, we're trying to make the Hi-Fi Guides Forum like we're actual, like, the first post of every, we have official posts. We don't post, we post random reviews. It doesn't matter whose it is. You guys can post your reviews for anything. Spit your fire out. As long as you're not spamming things, you're pretty much fine to talk there. So if you want to have a discussion about this, there'll be a pinned comment or a link in the description that takes you to the specific Hi-Fi Guides forum for this, and you could sign up with Google or Twitter or any of your Facebook logins, so you don't have to go and make an account and wait for a thing. It's 3 clicks to get to start talking about this there. So yeah, that's the whole reason Hi-Fi Guides is going to RMAF. I'm not going to RMAF. The website we started is going to RMAF. People forget that. But I am that website. I believe in it, and I believe in the forums. And it's places like that that'll sort of, just to get you sort of away from the Head-Fi crew and the Super Best Audio Friends crew and even the Audio Science Review is just sort of like, sometimes it's a weird place. And I just want to hang out and talk about music mostly. Like, hey, what headphones you got? Great. What are you listening to on them? That's where the conversation should go next. So, hey, what DAC you got? This one? Cool. Have you heard the new Run the Jewels single? I want that conversation to happen. Music first. Hi-Fi Guides. Let me guide you towards the playlist. Which, by the way, wallpaper in the description. Links to the Patreon and the Hi-Fi Guides and the RMAF GoFundMe, which, again, please, if you have somebody that you think might even give a crap about anything audio, forward them the RMAF GoFundMe, because I think I've tapped out all my fans. Hi, everybody that gave, 150, 60 people. Thank you so much. Now it's time to get your grandmas involved. I'm not saying spam them, but let's just face it. Grandma gave you those fucking socks and she owes me. I'm done here. Thank you. Again, if you want to read that just massive shit pile of things, click link to the unit, click link to the unit, then you click discussions, and you sort by the most popular, because that is the most popular. Other than that, I will see you all tomorrow for another review, and you could ask me, like, well, Zeus, you'd even just talk about how it sounded. If I'm comparing it to that DAC, and that's the best DAC I have, and pretty much the best DAC I've ever heard, then why would you even ask that? I started reading some of the reviews real quick before I end this about this and like the things they were saying, and I just felt so cringe. Oh, the warmth. I can't even fake the shit that they were saying. It was like, oh, the warmth in the mid-range from the R2R system. It's like, come on, man. Is it clean? Is it clear? It doesn't. It's not like adding a tube to something where it could actually physically twist the sound. It's just clean. It's a clean source. It's a fucking clean source. It's a hella clean source. And it's absolutely worth $350. I just wish it was balanced. And now I'll see you tomorrow.